Good morning, all the students of fourth standard. After so many days, I'm making the next video of lesson number seventh from fourth standard history. Name of the lesson that is Swaraj, the first conquest. Swaraj, first conquest. This lesson we are learning page number 25. This lesson page number 25 is going on. So we will see seventh lesson from the fourth standard. It is no doubt true that Shivaji and his comrades. It is true that Shivaji and his comrades took the oath of Swaraj in the temple of Raireshwar. In the previous lesson, we have stated that Shivaji Maharaj and his comrades or his friends, companions, they gathered, they came together, and with Shivaji Maharaj, they took the oath of Swaraj at in the Raireshwar temples. But it was very difficult task to take the oath of Swaraj. It is easy, but to work according to that, it is very difficult task. See, sometime what will happen that we will just believe, we will think that we will see the dreams, and we will confirm, we will decide that from today onwards, every day I will study at least minimum 2 to 3 hours. I will study all these years, I will score good marks. But to work according to that, it is very difficult. Sometime we will feel that in morning I will wake up at I do it early, maybe 4:35 o'clock, and I will study. But when the morning time alarm will be there, someone will tell us to wake up. We don't want to wake up. We will say from tomorrow onwards. So to take the oath, it is easy, but to work according to that, it is a difficult task for Shivaji and his comrades. In those days, Maharashtra was governed by the four different powers. During the 17th century, or in those days, Maharashtra territory was divided by the four different powers were there in the Maharashtra. Means they were governing, ruling Maharashtra, or Maharashtra was divided among the four powers. That is the Mughal Emperor of Delhi. First of all, Mughal Emperor of Delhi, Sultan Adil Shah of Bijapur. Along with that, the Portuguese of the Goa and the Siddhis of Zanchiraz. Like in this way, they ruled our Maharashtra territories. So Mughal Emperor of Delhi, Sultan Adil Shah of Bijapur, Portuguese of Goa, and Siddhis of Zanchiraz. These four powers were more strong there in the Maharashtra. They were powerful opponents and firm in their authority. So all these four powers were very powerful. They were strong opponents of each other. They opposed to each other. There was a competitions among them as to who will grab, who will capture more and more territory from the Maharashtra. So competition was there. They were competent of each others, means the opponents of each others in a race. They participate and they compete with each others. They fight against each other that, and all they were very strong. They were powerful opponents, firm in their authority. They decided and they work according to that. They were very firm on their decisions. No one would dare utter a word against them, and no one was there in the Maharashtra at that times. No one would dare to utter a single also word against these four powers. They do not have that much darings, although common people not have this much darings to utter a single also word against these powers, against these four powers. So no one would dare to be utter to take to speak a single also word against them. Now, under these difficult conditions, Shivaji had taken the oath of Swaraj. This was very difficult conditions, and Shivaji Maharaj took the oath of Swaraj in these circumstances, or under these uh, under this difficult condition. He took the oath of Swaraj. There was no compromise between the vast forces of enemy and handful of Shivaji's Maharaj. So if we see the comparison of enemy soldiers and the Shivaji Maharaj soldiers, so there was no any comparisons there. There was no means there was no any match between Shivaji's army and opponent's army. That opponent, those were that they were very more in number, that their soldiers number is more there, and Shivaji Maharaj soldiers very very handful Mavalas there. So there was no any match between the Shivaji's army and enemy's army there. For example, if the enemy's army is 1 lakh, then Shivaji's army is hardly 500 to 1000. So like in this way, the differences were there. So there was no any comparison. There was no any match between the Shivaji's army, Shivaji's handful Mavalas, and enemy's army. That Shivaji Maharaj soldiers were very very few. They were very less in number, but their strength, their courage, and their braveness, for that no compromise. There would be no match with their courage, with their bravery there. But Shivaji's mind was made up, and his firm resolve was his greatest sources of strength. But Shivaji Maharaj never afraid about this situation, that he knew that his soldiers were very less in numbers, but then also his mind was full with the greatest courage, and he made up his mind that he will establish Swaraj. He was firm on his decisions, that on his strength or on his sources. On he was a firm, and also he was confident on the strength of his Mavadas. So the first point among that, Torana Fort. Shivaji controlled the Jahagir of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. This Jahagir he got from his father Shahaji Raje. He was looking after this region. That so Shivaji also confirmed this Jahagir, Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur Pargana. He looked after this region. That all the forts in the Jahagirs were, however, in the charge of officers from the court of Bijapur. Whatever the forts were there in this region, all these forts were in the charge of officer one who was in the Bijapur's court there, Sardar one who was in the Bijapur's court there, under his control, or he was in charge of all these forts. One who was a Sardar in the Bijapur's court there. So he was in charge of Pune, Supe, Indapur, and Chakan Pargana regions in this area. Whatever the forts were there, those were the forts. So he was in charge of all these forts there. He who controlled the forts also controlled the surrounding territories, and therefore all talk of Swaraj without the control of the forts was meaningless. And when Shivaji Maharaj firm decided to establish Swaraj in the Maharashtra, that time all the Mavalas they began to speak about fort, that they were saying that one who had control on forts, he controlled the surrounding areas there. So without the fort we cannot, there was no any Swaraj, or the Swaraj was meaningless without the forts. For example, suppose you have the fort, then you can keep watch on the surrounding area, and that surrounding area was also under your control. So without the fort, Swaraj was meaningless. Like in this way, Mavalas they began to speak. So what they told, that he who controlled the forts, one who had control on the forts, the surrounding territory, and also he controlled the surrounding territory there, neighboring adjacent area beside the fort. Therefore, all talk of Swaraj without the control. Therefore, all they began to talk. They began to speak about the Swaraj for controlling the fort. That without the fort, Swaraj was meaningless. A hill fort gave strategic support to the rulers, and Shivaji decided to capture one at a suitable time. Hill forts give a strategic strength or the support. If you have the hill fort, then you can keep watch on the surrounding area properly, and that area is also under your control. Up to the longer distance, you can keep watch on the enemy's movement. So there is a strategic uh, support is there to capture the hill fort at a suitable time. For this purpose, he had selected the fort of the Torna. So Shivaji Maharaj had selected the Torna fort to capture it. This was the first fort captured by Shivaji Maharaj. It stands to the southwest of the Pune in the Kannada Valley, and the Torna fort it stands to the southwest region of toward the Kannada Valley. It was a renowned fort, and the Torna fort was also one of the most powerful, strong, well-known, famous fort. so only we call as a renowned fort, well suited for the defense. And this fort was also well suited, very good for the defense, for the strategic points, defense strategy. There were two strong marches on the way to the fort. Two strong marches were there when we are going toward the Torna fort. What is now Machi now? Machi is a fortifications of a natural plateau formed on the slope of a hill. It is a fortifications, natural plateau regions which was formed on the hill fort there, or on the hill there. One of these machis was Zunzar Machi and other was a Budal Machi. So two machis were there, Zunzar and Budal Machis. Zunzar Machi like its name, and here first one Machi, Zunzar Machi. This Machi was like its name only. Zunzar, difficult to be fight or to be captured. It could be offer a powerful defense against the enemy, and this Machi could be offer a strong defense against the enemy here. So today, for today, we'll stop here only. When we'll come tomorrow, then tomorrow we'll come with the next part of the same lesson. So till that time, you just divide. Thank you very much.